Everybody, it's Actuary Dude over here, so let's look at another exam question. So the value of assets held by an investment fund on the 1st of January 2012 is 1.3 mil. So 3/4 of the way through the year it reached 1.9, and then that next day it looks as though money came out 0.9 mil, so almost half of it. And then 3 months later it was worth 0.8 mil. So it wants to know what is the effective time-weighted rate of return for that year. So let's just have a look over here. Here's the start of the year. This is in January 12, this is in December 12, and then we also had somewhere about here, it's October 12. So in January we had 1.3, in October, just before we took out 0.9, it ended up being 1.9, and then at the end we have 0.8. So time-weighted rate of return over 1 year is 1 plus I is equal to 1.3 turned into 1.9, and then we're multiplying that by 1.9 minus 0.9, all divided by, and that's 0.8 divided by all that, which then leaves I to be equal to, let's just see what that does become. So it's going to be 1.9 divided by 1.3, and that's going to be equal to 0.8 divided by, and that's just 1 in fact. So there it is, and then we multiply them together, and we open to get 1.1692, which is 16.923%. Okay, so let's note that down. 16.923% per annum, but it's in the 1 year anyway. Alright, so that's part I. Let's look at double I, and it says it wants us to find the money weighted rate of return to the nearest 1%. That's pretty nice that it says that. So we have our 0.8 is going to be equal to 1.3 invested over 1 year at some rate, and then we're minusing 0.9 over with some rate a quarter of a year, 3 months, so that'll then be a quarter. And now we just have to find out what I is, and we can muck around on the calculator like that, but I'll just use Excel to muck around myself. So let's just say if this bit over, actually A5 can be the cell that we care about, so let's just call it, let's start at our 16% or something like that, and then say it's equal to, and that's 1.3 times 1 plus that, and that's plus, or sorry, minus 0.9 times 1 plus that to the power of, and that's a quarter, 0.25. There we go. So that reaches 0.57, we're trying to get it to 0.8. Now I can already tell from the question it says, explain why the money weighted rate of return is significantly higher. So let's just see what happens if we double this and just make it 0.32. Still not there. What happens if we make it 0.4? Okay, that gets us there. So let's see if we're on 35%. Not quite. 36%. Just under. And what's 37? Is there. So between 36 and 37% is what you're looking at. So I is equal to, and just depends on which one you want to call it. So I personally would say 37%, but I think the answer says 36%, so we'll note down 36 to 37%. Okay, and then it wants to know, why is the time-weighted rate of return significantly higher? So why is the money-weighted rate of return significantly higher? And the reason for that is because it's weighted towards when there is more money in the fund, and the time when there's more money is over here. And it so happened that at this time we ended up getting very good returns, whereas at the time when we got bad returns, or not as good returns, in fact it went down, was the time when we had the least amount of money. So this didn't care so much about this little bit over here, it didn't care so much about it at all, whereas this bit, this 1.3, really drove it up pretty high. So there we have it. That's the reason why this is over double of this. Thanks a lot for watching, and ask if you have any questions.